Good evening, everyone, and welcome in to New River Network's coverage of West Virginia Secondary Schools Activities Commission High School Football Playoffs AAA quarterfinals. My name is Lucas Berry. I'm with you alongside Chris Rader. Chris, before we go any further, we'd like to address why you're hearing my voice as opposed to the familiar voice of Coach Greg Christ. We understand Coach Christ had a bit of a medical situation, and we are certainly sending our thoughts with him. Hope to have him back up here sometime soon. Coach, we're thinking of you tonight. Wish you were here, but I'll try to keep your seat warm as best I can. So, we have ourselves a heck of a game. We have two teams that have a combined loss of 1. Oakhill lost to Princeton in September. They haven't lost since. Herbert Hoover has not lost in 11 tries so far this season. Chris, what does Oakhill need to do to pull off what would be considered a massive upset in most state circles and book their first semifinal spot in school history?
Contain Dane Hatfield. He's the quarterback, number 13. That's got to be the first thing they do. And I'm going to give you some stats for Dane Hatfield that'll probably scare you if you're an Oakhill fan. He's got 1,748 yards rushing. He's got 1,590 yards passing. That's over 3,300 total yards, 30 rushing TDs, 14 TDs through the air. Those are the kind of numbers that usually will get you Kennedy Award recognition, Lucas. So you got to contain Dane Hatfield. And I think the key matchup tonight is Hoover's offense against Oakhill's defense. Hoover comes in averaging over 45 points a game. Oakhill comes in averaging giving up just under 15 points a game. And whichever one of those units, I think, come closest to producing their normal output will win the game.
I'm glad you mentioned the Kennedy Award. For those of you who might not be familiar, the Kennedy Award is essentially West Virginia's Heisman. That's essentially what it is. It's the Player of the Year award, and that can be awarded to any class. There's not a Quad A Kennedy. It's you're the best player in the state of West Virginia, you get the award. So that's what this is. And, Chris, I know we're talking about an individual game here, but this to me is a great example of Herbert Hoover is a good program. This is the team that played in the championship game in Wheeling 2 years ago. Oakhill made the playoffs last year, lost to Princeton, and ended up playing in the state championship game. Mm-hmm. You get your first playoff win since 2001 last week. Now you come on the road to a team that's been there, done that. This is where Oakhill wants to be in a year or two, and you're going to get a chance to beat one of the better teams in the state, one of the better programs in the state tonight.
No, you're right. I mean, if you're comparing the history of the two schools, Hoover has a much richer history as far as winning tradition when it comes to football. But in a lot of ways, I don't know how much that matters. These kids from Oakhill have shown that they're not going to be confined to Oakhill's history.
No,
they're rewriting history as with every game that they play. So I'll shut up for a minute. I think we're going to go to our national anthem
indeed, yes.
here.
So as we were talking about, Oakhill is rewriting history. This is the best season they've had in Oakhill football in 70 years. I mean, this really goes back to 1950. We have not seen an Oakhill football team like this in many a generation.
No, and to your point, I think Darren mentioned last week, I think it's been since 1950 that Oakhill's won 10 games. If they can win tonight, this will be the first time in school history that they've actually won 11 games. Now, we can add some context to that. You and I were talking before we went on air, years ago, that they didn't have the playoffs. They would just pair the best two teams at the end of the year. So there are some reasons for that. But the fact of the matter is, Oakhill's never won 11 games in a season. They have a chance to do that tonight and become the first team in school history to accomplish that.
Let me ask you this, Chris. Well, I'm looking at a field right now that it's snowing. We didn't think it was going to snow here, but sure enough, there's snow on this field. Does that help Oakhill's cause, or is it really not a factor?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I'm not sure it's a factor. When you watch Hoover tonight, they put up a lot of points, but they do it they're very ground oriented. I mentioned that Hatfield comes in with over 1,700 yards rushing. Their second leading rusher is Blake Fisher. He's got another 790. So they run a lot of power anyway. So I'm not sure that the conditions favor one team over the other. I guess maybe we can see that. We saw the conditions last year, play a role in the special teams game with some bad snaps. Both of these teams formationally are very identical to each other. Hoover's going to run a lot of the same stuff. If you watched Oakhill this year, that Oakhill does. They like to get in the shotgun. They'll go four wide with twins to each side. They'll go trips to one side and with a single receiver to the far side by himself. So formationally, they do a lot of the same things. So we'll see. I mean, I think for Oakhill, from an Oakhill perspective, what they have to do to have a chance to win tonight, besides containing Hatfield, they don't have to play great on special teams. I'm not saying they have to have the game of their lives. They can't have any big mistakes, though. You can't have a block punt. You can't have a muff snap. You can't have a mishandled punt, something like that. They just have to play a clean special teams game.
You also talked about this a little earlier. The start they got off to against Lewis County, you cannot have that start tonight.
No, and I talked to Brad Compton a little bit during the midweek about, what was going on with all the pre-snap penalties. He told me that the wind was really whipping out there, and he said that part of that was Lewis County's defenders were mimicking the Oakhill snap count, and he said that he didn't think the refs could hear it with the wind whipping. He said that was part of it. He said the other part was just lack of discipline on their part. So, I mean, Oakhill has to, take ownership of that. So, no, you're exactly right. If they come out tonight and they're having 7 false start penalties, they're going to get run out of the stadium really quick.
We're about to see how this thing plays out. Oakhill in the white jersey with the black pants, red helmet. And thank you guys for wearing that red helmet. It looks really nice out there. Herbert Hoover in the all blue with white numerals. So we'll get a chance to see how this game starts out. I don't know who won the toss. I can't really tell.
Yeah, I didn't catch that either. But regardless, like you mentioned, Oakhill's got to come out and just play clean. They got to come out no penalties, no silly turnovers. I think, to your point, I think people around the state, Hoover's probably the favorite coming in here tonight. I would agree with that. But honestly, you get in the quarterfinals, and I think the 4 or 5 games are fun games because a lot of times it's two evenly matched teams. And I think Oakhill is going to play with them tonight. I'm not predicting victory. I'm not predicting anything one way or another. But I'll be surprised if Hoover comes in here tonight and just runs them off the field.
I will, too.
I really will.
I could not agree more if I tried. I saw something that, and I don't know when they started putting out lines for high school games, but someone had Oakhill as a 12.5-point dog tonight.
Okay.
I'm like, all right,
we'll
okay.
see. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll see. Again, when I talked to Brad earlier this week, he seemed pretty confident that Oakhill, he wasn't predicting, he wasn't gloating, but he said, I think we can play with them. He mentioned that to me a couple of weeks ago, even prior to the Lewis County game. He said, I think we can play with Herbert Hoover if we get there. And I think they can, too. I took some time. I had some more time this week than I usually have. I took a couple of days off of work, and I watched some of Hoover's games from earlier in the year. Hoover's a very good football team, but I athletically, I don't think they're that superior to Oakhill. I think Oakhill's going to be able to play with them tonight. And it looks like the Devils are getting the ball first here.
Well, we're going to find out if they can do it. We're going to find out real quick.
And it looks like that's number 82, Voss Durenberger, who's going to be the kicker for Hoover tonight, Lucas.
With 3 men back, the ball is in the air. It'll be fielded at about the 1. Taking out, I can't see a number on that, but it's going to get to about the 10. Chris, I'm not sure about taking that thing out if it gets to the 1.
Well, and I don't know if he can down that though. I'm not, and I'll plead ignorance here. I know in college and high school you can call a fair catch, but where he wasn't able to field it, I don't know if you have that same ability in high school. So if it didn't get to the end zone, he might have had to pick that up.
Fair enough.
That's a really bad break for the Devils because that did not get to the end zone. So that's a tough start.
From our vantage point in the press box, it's going to be a little hard to see exactly what yard line we're on this end of the field. So bear with us if we're having a little bit of trouble.
Scoreboard down here has it at the 10, so we can maybe go off that a little bit.
I'm not used to a scoreboard with down and distance on it this year. Here's the snap count, and we've got a flag on the field here early on, I think.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they call here, because it looked like Devin was mimicking clapping, and they might get him for that. Yeah. Okay, they actually got Owen Gross, and unfortunately we're picking up right where we left off from last week, where we have receivers, and this is really unexcusable. A receiver should never have a false start, and we saw that way too much last week too. Oakhill's really got to get that cleaned up.
So that'll put half the distance to the goal, mark it 5. First and 15. Richardson on a screen pass to the outside. Trying to break away, they will. And I think he'll get about a yard or 2. And Z. Lewis on the catch.
Yeah, they tried to get that bubble screen going a little bit with Z. Lewis. Blake Fisher came up and had him wrapped up around the goal line. He was able to spring out of that, but he can get 3 yards out of it, but still puts him behind the sticks, 2nd and 12 here at the 8 here.
Line to gain is 20.
And they're going with the stock set here. They've done the first couple plays here.
Snap is back. Handoff up the middle. Nothing to do with it.
Now, Herbert Hoover, they have an unusual alignment. They go with a 3-4. Oakhill hasn't seen a lot of 3-down linemen this year. The guy to watch in the middle of that line is Mighty Lopez, and he lives up to his name. He's the nose guard, big number 51 for the Huskies, and they're probably going to have to give the center, Tyler Kincaid, some help on him. He's given up a lot of size to Lopez. Lopez is probably their best overall lineman.
3rd down 12. As the bells are ringing in Oakview. Snap is back. Richardson looks to throw. Does. Pass is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, he wanted Armani Hicks over there on the sidelines. That was going to be well short of the sticks anyway, so not a great start for the Devils. Again, that false start right before you even snapped the ball put them behind the sticks, and they weren't able to overcome that. So this is going to be key. If Hoover is watching the Oakhill film, they know that Oakhill has struggled in the punt game. So don't be surprised if Hoover comes after this pretty aggressively right here.
It looks like they are. They're really having everyone tight up on that line. Yeah. There's no one back.
They don't even have a returner back right now, which surprises me, honestly.
I think that got tipped on the way in, but it will take an Oakhill roll. And it will be down at about the 48-yard line. So all things considered, a pretty good punt.
That's a little bit of a break, and I'm really surprised Hoover didn't have a man back. Because if they have a returner back, he could probably pick that up and get some positive yardage out of it. So I'm not excited, unless they were afraid of maybe just muffing the punt or mishandling of the ball or something. But it surprised me they had nobody back, and that really worked to Oakhill's advantage.
So Dane Hatfield will bring his team out. Looks like they're going trips to the far side. Single receiver down here. Single set back in the backfield with Hatfield.
And they'll do this a lot, Lucas. They get to the line quickly, but then they all look to the sidelines to get the play from the coach. So that you'll see this all night from the Huskies.
Snap is back. And it's a keep from Hatfield. He'll dive across the 50 to about the opposite 48. So let's say it's 2nd down and 8.
So nice job by Mikey Spike and James Ludwig that time. And you'll see a lot of that. They like to run a lot of QB power. About 95% of the time when Hoover runs the ball, they're going to have a guard pulling. So that's a key for the linebackers for Oakhill. If you see a guard pulling, they're running the football. If they're not pulling, they're usually throwing it. So that's got to be something the Oakhill linebackers look at.
Let's also talk about this while I was thinking about it, just because we saw Herbert Hoover getting to the line, and if they don't sub, that can really hurt Oakhill's defense later on in the game.
That's true.
Hatfield drops the throw. He'll keep it himself. Got out of some tackles. Is finally brought down. It'll be close to first down yardage, but not quite.
Yeah, James Green got in there and had him just for a second, but Hatfield was able to wriggle out of it. I couldn't tell if that was a design QB draw, if he just pulled it very quickly, but Hatfield likes to run the ball. Even when design passes, sometimes in the film I was watching, almost looks like Hatfield's looking to run first.
Chips to the near side, single receiver way out wide.
Keep your eye on number 1. He's in the slot. That's Blake Fisher. They line him up all over the field. And he's the most inside receiver to that trip side right now on the right.
Switching our running backs. And it'll be a keep once again. Hatfield has a first down.
And in these conditions, man, and don't be surprised, you might see Dane Hatfield carry the ball over 30 times tonight. And they're content to do that. They'll just go QB power, and, get those little 4- and 5-yard gains. So that's enough to keep the chains moving for Herbert Hoover.
8:45 to go on the rolling first quarter clock. Just underway here in Elkview. You're watching SSAC High School Football on the New River Network.
And again, I'm seeing Fisher. They're going that trips left, and Fisher's the most inside receiver to the trip side.
Handoff. Big hole. Can he be chased down?
Yeah, that was Devin Silvas. And Treadway saved the touchdown, but that's a big game for the Huskies, and they're in business now inside the 5.
Let's see where they'll mark that ball at. The 4. First and goal from the 4.
No, they got Silvas in that H-back. They run behind him almost every time, like they did right there. They killed it with a nice job of stocking him up. He kept his legs turning.
And he's in. No, they haven't marked him. They're going to mark him short.
That's a great second effort, though. Oakhill had him stocked up at the line of scrimmage, and you saw Hatfield just kept the legs turning, spun out of there. But when you see number 7, Devin Silvas, at that H-back position, they are going to run behind him. And the games I watched, it's almost 100%. That's their power set, and they like to run behind that H-back there. And I have to think this is Dane Hatfield time right here.
I would be shocked if it isn't. He's under center. And it most definitely is. And he is in. Touchdown, Herbert Hoover.
No, that's not obviously not a great start for Oakhill. If you've watched Oakhill this year, they're not a team. They're not a dynamic, explosive offensive team. So Oakhill doesn't want to get down too far too quick. One touchdown, we're not going to panic just yet, but Oakhill doesn't want to. They're going to have to get stops here tonight and string together some of their own drives.
And that's a penalty. I think they got Oakhill to move.
Yeah, I think Oakhill jumped over there. We'll take J.D. Moritz and maybe Armani Hicks jumped. I think it's going to be dead ball.
Dead ball, infraction, defense, number 6. Half the distance to the goal. Try for 4.
I don't know if that would change Hoover's strategy at all. It looks like they're going to keep their kicking unit out there and just try to kick this extra point.
Extra point is up, and the extra point is good. So with 7:35 to go in our ball game, first quarter rather, I'm sorry. Herbert Hoover jumps out 7-0. We shall return on the New River Network after this.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
New River Health presents Wellness Watch, a segment about the diversity of care offered at New River Health. Numerous locations, including pharmacies and dentistry, full-service school health sites, varied hours, benefits help, and sliding fee arrangements make healthcare happen at New River Health. New River Health's Wellness Watch will help you discover solutions to challenging health questions and methods for staying well physically and mentally. From Summersville to Smithers and from Sophia to Oakhill, healthcare happens at New River Health.
As Herbert Hoover is about to kick off again to Oakhill, and this will be fielded a little further up the field. And they'll get a chance to return it. Can't see quite who that is. Might be Carson Treadway on the far side.
It was Carson.
And he got drilled.
That's Blake Fisher, and I mentioned him on offense, but he's a good defensive player for the Huskies, too. Just a really nice tackle that time on special teams. It looked like Carson might have a little lane around there on the right side. Then you saw Fisher come shooting in there, wrap him up, and he was down right there. It was a nice job by Herbert Hoover on special teams. Now, Lucas, we saw on that first drive, Oakhill throw they ran a little bubble screen. They threw another pass short. And we've seen in the past Devon Marion use that to set up something deeper. So we'll see if he might want to try a pump and go at some point. Get those Husky defenders biting up on a short pass.
We'll take this ball's on the 15. Or the 25 rather. Here is the snap. Richardson got out of it, don't know how. But he finds the edge, and he'll gain about a yard. Made something out of nothing there.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot downfield. Devin was able to tuck it and get something out of it. I think we're probably going to have to see some Devin Richardson with his legs to make some plays for Oakhill. For them to stay in the game, we know that Dane Hatfield's going to use his legs, and I think that Devon Marion's going to have Devin Richardson use his legs too here tonight.
Second down, 9, ball spotted at the 25-yard line. Richardson hands the ball off. And not much doing. Gained a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 8.
Yeah, that was J.D. Moritz on the carry. Again, Mighty Lopez, who I mentioned earlier, he was in on the stock that time with Hayden Payne from his linebacker position. So Hoover runs a 3-4 base set. They go with those 3 down linemen, and then they're usually pretty active with their linebackers. They'll let their linebackers blitz, shoot gaps, and just try to create chaos in the backfield like Hayden Payne did that time. So, again, another 3rd and long for Oakhill.
3rd down and 7 officially. Richardson will drop to throw. Have to keep it himself. He will. He'll slide short of the 1st down.
So I think Devin's got to have an eye for the sticks a little bit more than that. You can't. This isn't the time to be sliding, in my opinion. You know, we're in the playoffs, and you can't slide a yard and a half short of the sticks. You just got to put your head down and find that. And I think Devin could have had the 1st down if he tries to make a move or just dives for it. But this isn't the game to be sliding at the sticks. And I'm not trying to be too overly critical. These are high school kids, and I get that. But you don't want to be sliding 2 yards short of the sticks, and now you're in a bad position.
5 seconds on a play clock. We got to go.
Got to take a timeout here.
Yep. So Oakhill's down a timeout with 5:54 to go in the 1st quarter. Not the ideal start for the Devils by any means, but 4th and 2, who knows? We'll be back after this on the New River Network, everyone.
Are you a former graduate of Oakhill High School or Collins High School? The Oakhill High School Collins High School Alumni Association is a proud sponsor of tonight's game. With various annual events and community support, we keep Red Devils in touch and school spirit alive. Thanks to generous donations, $92,500 was distributed to the Oakhill High School class of 2024 in higher education scholarships. We thank Red Devils far and wide for watching tonight's game. For more information on how to become a member, donate to the scholarship fund, or how to visit the Alumni Center on Kelly Avenue, please email ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. That is ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. Go Red Devils!
Huge 4th down here for Oakhill.
It's going to be a flag.
Yep.
And that's probably going to change the decision.
That's going to make it a 4th and 7, will it not?
And again, man, we mentioned the pre-snap penalties, and we've already seen 2 of them here, and that's in a critical situation, 4th and 2, and you're thinking about going for it. Devin clapped his hands and backed up expecting the snap. I will say he was the only one moving on that. So it looks like that he might have been the one off on the snap count because I didn't see anybody else looking like they were expecting a snap.
Hoover does have someone back, but it's not at very... Okay, now they're backing up a little bit more. Kick is away. It's blocked. And Hoover will take over inside the 5.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, man, that was a one-man rush. Hoover was not even coming after that punt, and you can't let that happen. That was number 52, Ethan Patrick, who came in and got that block, and Hoover wasn't even coming after it. And Oakhill just has... They got to do a better job, and they have to be more aggressive. And I got to be honest, man, I don't see a lot of want-to out of Oakhill right now. That shouldn't have happened.
No.
We slid short of the sticks on that punt. They got a block punt, not even really coming after at that time. Oakhill's got to button that up.
First down and goal here from the 5 for Herbert Hoover. Trying to take a 2-score lead early. And it looks like they'll have to take a timeout. So both teams are down a timeout here in the first quarter. We'll take one with them. 5:47 to go, opening frame. Herbert Hoover knocking on the door once again. Stay tuned.
New River Health presents Wellness Watch, a segment about the diversity of care offered at New River Health. Numerous locations, including pharmacies and dentistry, full-service school health sites, varied hours, benefits help, and sliding fee arrangements make healthcare happen at New River Health. New River Health's Wellness Watch will help you discover solutions to challenging health questions and methods for staying well physically and mentally. From Summersville to Smithers and from Sophia to Oakhill, healthcare happens at New River Health.
And we welcome you back as Lewis County has, not Lewis County, I'm thinking about last week. Herbert Hoover has taken a timeout here. They're looking to go up 2 scores here early in the first quarter after a block punt on what was effectively a one-man rush and sets them up in prime position at the 5-yard line of Oakhill.
Well, unfortunately, Lucas, the keys to the game I had in the pregame, they're coming true for Oakhill, and pre-snap penalties, that's the reason they didn't go for it and had to punt the ball, and then we had a special teams gaffe, and I said you cannot have those things. And Oakhill, 7 minutes into the game already has a couple of them.
So?
And they're in that H-back with Silvas. Look for them to go behind that. They're showing motion over there, too.
And it will be Hatfield, and he's going to be into the end zone. Touchdown, Herbert Hoover.
Yeah, too easy. Yeah, that's way too easy. He went in basically untouched. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't love what I see right now as far as Oakhill's body language. I don't love what I'm seeing as far as what I consider good effort right now. Now, Oakhill has been a resilient team all year, so I'm not saying the game's over by any stretch of the imagination, but somebody's going to have to get in their ear over there and tell these kids they're in a playoff game.
Yeah. As the extra point is lined up here once again. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So with 5:42 to go in the opening frame, it is Herbert Hoover 14, Oakhill nothing. And I do believe we've under replay. Yep.
Well, somebody's going to have to make a play for Oakhill. Somebody for Oakhill is going to have to just step up and make a play. Whether that's maybe it's a kick return, maybe it's somebody just making a block and springing a runner or making a big catch. But somebody's going to have to make a play and create a spark here for Oakhill because they find themselves down 14-0 to a very explosive team. And Oakhill's not a very explosive team. Oakhill's MO is they hold teams down. They don't let you score a lot of points. So already Herbert Hoover is right at the average Oakhill's given up all year. So that's not a great start for the Devils.
Ball it's in the air once again. It will be fielded at about the 4-yard line, taken out from the 5. from the 10 and upended. Ball came out, I think, at the end.
Really solid special teams again for Herbert Hoover. Number 4, Michael Taylor that time with a big tackle. And Hoover's come to play, man. I mean, they're showing the part. They're showing why they're undefeated.
Undefeated, and Chris mentioned the stats. Herbert Hoover comes in averaging 45.4 points a game on offense. They give up 11.5 on defense. This is a really good football team. Richardson will hand it off. And that's a solid gain on first down.
So they brought in Jacob Ashmore that time, and he showed nice vision that time. He was trying to go up in the interior, decided to cut it up over the left. That was number 19. Taylor Harrison, though, made a nice tackle from his linebacker position and held that to a shorter gain than maybe I thought it was going to be. But a solid 4-yard gain regardless.
Second down, 6, they will throw it, and that's incomplete.
Yeah, and even Hoover looked like they had that covered up. So even if that's complete, I don't know if it's going anywhere. And again, Oakhill's possessions, the first 3 possessions here have been really quick. They find themselves in 3rd and long, and Oakhill can't live in 3rd and long. They're not really built for it.
3rd and 6 from their own 21. Already down 14-zip. Here is the pass. It's incomplete.
Yeah, they were trying to get something over here on this trip side, and they rolled Devin out to that side and tried to give him maybe a little run-pass option, but the Hoover defense did a pretty good job of spying him. Looked like he didn't have a lot to go, and then this field was getting condensed. You had receivers all kind of running short hitches over here. Devin was coming over here looking for him, and the field just got really crowded and condensed. He had nowhere to go with the ball.
So now on 4th and 6 from their own 21, they're lining up to go for it. Snap is back. Richardson throws. Pass is incomplete. And Hoover will take over on downs. Let's call it what it is, basically in the red zone.
Yeah. They had the right. That's a really aggressive call right there. It looked like it was there. Mikey Spike ran a hitch right at the sticks, and Devin just threw a fastball. That's a really tough pass to handle. And Mikey had to lay out for it and try to catch it with his hands, and he just couldn't handle that fastball that time. And Oakhill's in a bad way right now.
Hoover coming to the line. Twin to each side.
That was
touchdown.
Yeah. That's just standard power football. Hand at that time to Blake Fisher. Like I said, they'll line him up in the backfield. They'll line him up in the slot. And right now, Herbert Hoover's doing anything they want to against Oakhill. And Oakhill, they're just going to have to bow up, and somebody's going to have to make a play for them.
Yeah.
Right now, this isn't an X's and O's thing. They're losing individual matchups. That's what's happening right now. Hoover looks like they want it more than Oakhill to me right now.
Extra point is up, and the kick is good. Still 4:51 to go, opening quarter. 21-0. Oakhill finds themselves in a big hole. See if they can dig out from it when we return on the New River Network.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to Elkview as Herbert Hoover, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, Herbert Hoover's kicking off again. And they find themselves down 21-0. Oak Hill does, I'm sorry.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to make a play for Oak Hill and try to get them back in this football game.
And they'll get a chance to do it right here as that kickoff is again near the 5. Will be taken out to about the 20, and I think that's where they'll mark him, maybe the 21.
Yeah, really impressed with Herbert Hoover's special teams. All 3 of those kickoffs, and actually I guess 4 kickoffs now because they kicked it off to begin the game. All 4 of those kickoffs, Hoover's getting down there, and Oak Hill's barely getting to the 20, if that, and they're being swarmed under. So really impressed by Herbert Hoover's special teams here early in the game. Impressed by everything they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Shutting down Oak Hill defensively, doing anything they want to offensively. So right now there's nothing not to be impressed about with Herbert Hoover. So Oak Hill's going with a kind of a bunch set over here on the right.
Snap is back. Richardson rolls out. He'll keep it himself, and he will get out of bounds.
That's probably, I'd say that's Oak Hill's best play of the game.
I'd say you're right.
And I think Devon's going to have to do a lot more of that. He made Blake Fisher miss out there, using his athleticism, got a solid, looks like, 7, 8 yards? 8 yards. 7 yards.
Yeah, 2nd and 3.
So I think Devon's going to have to do a lot more of that. Give him some run-pass options, get him out on the edge, let him use his athleticism here. He was able to make Hoover's best athlete, Blake Fisher, miss that time. Same formation. Now they're going to run a
handoff up the middle.
So we've been seeing Oak Hill go to that a lot lately, where they'll go to those bunch sets, and the base play, what they're running off of is a jet sweep action. And they showed at that time to Carson Treadway, then they run a little counter up in the interior. Hoover was all over that at that time, but Oak Hill's had a lot of success with that. Did he get the first down? Yeah.
He did indeed.
Yeah.
So it'll be a 1st and 10 for Oak Hill. I did not
He got more
that.
than I thought he did, honestly.
Yeah. Handoff once again, and a whole host of Huskies are there to make that tackle.
Yeah, Talon Harrison, among others. But like you said, a whole host of Herbert Hoover Huskies. They're having trouble getting Mighty Lopez blocked, and I was afraid that might be he's lining up right over the center, which is Tyler Kincaid, and that's a tough matchup for Tyler. He's given up a lot of size and strength to Mighty Lopez. Oak Hill's going to have to double him or give him some type of help.
Snap is back. Richardson being forced to roll out to his right. Looks like he's going to try to keep it. He will. And he'll get a good chunk of yardage on that, honestly.
He's going to make it 3rd and manageable anyway. So, yeah, you'll live with that. It puts him in a 3rd and medium and opens up a lot more of their playbook. But like I said, I think that we're going to have to see a lot more, even if it's broken play stuff.
Yeah.
And that was a broken play. But that's what Devon can give you. And if you have to do that, then you have to do that. But if he can roll out, and then the more he makes plays with his legs, he'll get those linebackers biting. Maybe he can find somebody downfield.
3rd and 4 from the 38. Here's the snap. Richardson will drop to throw. He's looking for Carson Treadway, and that pass will finally complete.
That was really good coverage downfield. Yeah, Carson was one-on-one. Cade Blackwell.
Yeah.
Heard the PA guy was looking him up. That was just really good coverage that time for Hoover. He was step for step for Carson. Basically tried to throw him a jump ball, and Blackwell did a nice job of breaking that up.
So now we see Oak Hill again lining up to go for it. Surprise, surprise, right? But 4th down and 4.
Well, and they're going to take a timeout here. It's their 2nd timeout of the half.
Well, we will take a timeout with them. We'll be back to discuss this 4th down after this.
New River Health presents Wellness Watch, a segment about the diversity of care offered at New River Health. Numerous locations, including pharmacies and dentistry, full-service school health sites, varied hours, benefits help, and sliding fee arrangements make healthcare happen at New River Health. New River Health's Wellness Watch will help you discover solutions to challenging health questions and methods for staying well physically and mentally. From Summersville to Smithers and from Sophia to Oak Hill, healthcare happens at New River Health.
Let me welcome you back to Elkview as Oak Hill sets up to go for it here on a critical 4th down and 4. Or rather, they will once they break the huddle. Herbert Hoover's out there. They're ready to go. But Oakhill is just now emerging from their huddle.
Yeah, and it's really tough going for it on 4th and 4 at your own 38. Now, it looks like, I think they are going to try to punt this ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
They get the kick away. It'll be fielded. Blake Fisher will be tackled at the 45-yard line by a few Red Devils, and they're making that play, including Mikey Spack.
Mikey Spack. That was good coverage, and I think that's the right call. I'm actually glad to see us do that. I know you're down 21-0, and we've already had a punt block, but I do think that's the right call right there. I hate to see you go for it in situations like that. But in some way I can understand. I mean, the punt game's been so hit and miss for Oakhill this year, and you had that one punt block, so I get where Coach Marion's coming from on some of these decisions, but I am glad we punted that one away.
Make him drive it. Make him do it.
Yeah, make him earn it a little bit more. Make him go down the field a little ways on you.
We haven't had a chance to point this out since the opening drive of the game, but we will for the second drive of the game, first for Hoover. That they will get to the line, then they'll just look to the sideline. So we'll have a handoff up here, big hole. Blake Fisher, he broke about 4 tackles on that play. He's going to be down near the 10.
Yeah, he showed good vision. He was able to bounce out to the outside. Again, like you said, broke a tackle and just kept his legs turning. We're seeing Hoover run through some Oakhill tackles here, unfortunately.
So that cat is fast.
Yeah, he if you see him I saw him on film. He's a good athlete, and they like to get him. They'll throw him the ball. They'll throw him screens. They'll send him down the field, on deep pass patterns. He's a really explosive, versatile player for them. They're going to go behind that H-back again. Nice job, Oakhill. And actually, they broke a tendency and didn't, so they proved me wrong. Anytime I'd see him line up in that H-back, they always run behind him. That time they actually ran to the weak side, and Oakhill's defense did a nice job of bottling him up for a short gain.
2:40 to go on the rolling first quarter clock. Ball's at the 8-yard line for Herbert Hoover.
They're lining Silvas up at that H-back on the left now. We'll see if they go behind him or break a tendency again.
And they'll go out to the far side. Good play.
That was nice. That was nice discipline by Tyler Ashmore. So that time they faked the power behind the H-back to the left side. They let Hatfield try to get around, but around to the right. But Tyler Ashmore from his linebacker position showed a really good discipline that time, cut off that edge, and held him to a minimal gain. Nice job by Tyler.
3rd down and goal from the 6 for the Huskies.
Brings up a 3rd and goal for the Huskies from the 6-yard line.
They're going with a 2-back set. They don't do this a ton.
Handoff. Looked like that was Fisher in there, and he's still short.
Yeah, that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. He was still short. Nice job again by the interior of that Oakhill defense. They bone up a little bit here, showing a little heart. I'm glad to see that. Because Darren's helping me, helping me get my mic straight here. You'd think I know how to wear a headset by now. But this is definitely 4-down territory for them.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're getting to the line. This is going to be a QB sneak.
That ball's on what, the 4?
Yeah, this is going to be a QB sneak. See, I told you.
It's intercepted. Intercepted by the Red Devils. Huge play there.
Nice. That's a great job on Mikey. I've seen them do that in film where they get to the line quickly, go under center. I really thought they were going to just try to run Hatfield with a QB sneak. Great job on Mikey Spike. They tried to slip somebody out in the end zone there. Nice job by Mikey Spike. Maybe that's a play that gets Oakhill going.
It might. Hey, you never know.
Give them a little spark. Great job by the senior there, though.
It's 1st and goal from the 4. 1st down and 10 from the 4 for Oakhill. And a flag is down.
I'm guessing that's motion again.
I would say.
Good ball.
It's just it's ridiculous too. I mean, we're this far into the season, and I don't know why we're seeing so many pre-snap motion penalties. This is something you expect to see in the first game of the year.
Yeah.
It's not something you expect to see in the 12th.
No.
Just really disappointing.
We'll move it back to the 2 to be 2nd and 12. Handoff. We'll see if they can get out of the end zone.
I think they're probably going to give him forward progress just barely.
Barely.
But, yeah, he just escaped the end zone. So that's going to bring up 2nd and long here. I mean, just right outside the goal line here for Oakhill.
It's actually 3rd and long. We're marking it as third from 13. No? Okay, they changed it back to 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute.
Brings up a 2nd down and 13.
So they're marking him all the way back to the 1. Richardson will throw. Incomplete.
He had him. He was a little long. Owen Gross was running a skinny post that time. He had inside leverage on his man, and Devin had him, but it was a tight window. So the safety was coming up, closing in over there, and Devin couldn't quite fit it in there.
So now you come into what might be the most precarious position Oakhill's found themselves in tonight.
Yeah, they need to play in the worst way here. So they're going out. They're going with that bunch set to either side.
And that pass is going to be incomplete.
And again, Devin, it was pretty good coverage. Mikey spiked. So they took those receivers over there on the right, and they had them at different levels, and they were all running some type of out pattern, just at different levels of the field, giving Devin a short route, an intermediate route, and a deep route. Spike was the deepest of those three. He had outside leverage, but again, pretty tight coverage. If Devin throws a perfect pass, he can get it in there, but obviously he didn't.
So now Hoover sets up at the 1 with 9 seconds to go in the first quarter. I had a feeling that was the case.
I wondered that too. I wondered if he had crossed the line of scrimmage. Half the distance. How much? I have no idea how you could get any closer to the goal line.
I don't think you can. No. That's a half the distance. That's the honor system. So that is like, just trust us. We moved it.
That's like the distance of a toenail. And you see JD right on the. He's got his heels right on
the back of the end zone.
Edge of the back. Yeah.
And that they get it away, and Hoover's got a very short field to work with. And by that I mean they almost got that touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, Oakhill's coverage wasn't very good that time. Carson Treadway had him at about the 20-yard line, and again we're just seeing a lot of want to me, and that's Blake Fisher just saying, you're not tackling me.
Yeah.
I'm not going down that easily. And we're just seeing a lot of want to out of Hoover right now. Blake Fisher broke the tackle. Once he broke the tackle, he was able to scamper into the end zone, and Herbert Hoover's doing anything they want to right now.
On to attempt the extra point for the Huskies, number 82, Paul Sternberger.
Extra point is up. Extra point is good. After 1, 28-0, Herbert Hoover has the lead. We shall return after this on the New River Network, everyone.
Are you a former graduate of Oakhill High School or Collins High School? The Oakhill High School Collins High School Alumni Association is a proud sponsor of tonight's game. With various annual events and community support, we keep Red Devils in touch and school spirit alive. Thanks to generous donations, $92,500 was distributed to the Oakhill High School class of 2024 in higher education scholarships. We thank Red Devils far and wide for watching tonight's game. For more information on how to become a member, donate to the scholarship fund, or how to visit the Alumni Center on Kelly Avenue, please email ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. That is ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. Go Red Devils!
Yep. And we welcome you back here to Elkview as the Herbert Hoover Huskies have a 28-0 lead on the Oakhill Red Devils here after the first quarter.
Not a lot to say, Lucas.
No.
And I never like to be overly critical. These are high school kids. They're not highly paid NIL kids. They're not pros, but they're getting out-hustled and outplayed by Herbert Hoover. And I see more want to on the side of the blue right now, unfortunately. We've got a lot of game to go, too. So.
Oh, yeah. Who knows? I mean, we're playing it till the final whistle is. Here is the kickoff. It'll be taken to about the 25, 26-yard line.
Yeah, that's not a bad return by Z. Lewis. Not a bad turn. Made a couple men miss. That's Oakhill's best starting field position right there at the 26. So he finally advanced it out past the 20. So not a bad return by Z. Lewis right there. And, man, hopefully Oakhill can get something going on offense. And they just have not been able to get anything going against this Hoover defense. They're having trouble getting that three-man front block. The linebackers are being really aggressive, blitzing. They're having trouble getting those guys blocked. And their best plays have just been when Devin's been able to make a couple plays with his legs off of broken plays.
Handoff. Nothing doing.
Nothing doing. Yeah, absolutely. Try to get Tyler going over that right-hand side, and Connor Facemeyer did a nice job. The linebackers came up, filling the hole, so just nowhere to go that time. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for Oakhill.
As Oakhill will again go pretty much the same formation. Devin's going to keep it.
They were ready for it.
They were.
Blake Fisher did a nice job. Devin, they tried that zone read that time. Blake Fisher came up. He was ready for Devin, so that was one-on-one violence that time. Blake Fisher got the best of it that time. And again, Oakhill's just been living in 3rd and longs all night so far.
So here we are, 3rd down and 9 for the Devils. Ball rests at the 27-yard line, I'm sorry. Snap is back. Richardson pump fakes. Throws a deep ball. Overthrown.
Yeah, they tried that pump and go. They had tried to go short a couple times. They were trying to set up that pump and go. But Hoover was ready for it. Blackwell was playing off. It was almost like he thought that was coming. He was playing off of Carson Treadway, and he was in really good position to defend that deep ball that time.
So Fisher's back to return, and we saw what happened the last time.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Oakhill, they're just I think they're going to go.
They're going to go for it, yeah. Snap is back. Richardson has all day.
He's got nowhere to go, though.
He's going to chuck it downfield. That pass is going to be caught. Is it? They're going to debate about it.
Hoover's trying to talk him out of it. I thought he caught it.
I did too. They're going to say he did. Move it.
So that was a really nice job by Armani Hicks, because I can tell you, I was looking downfield. He had nowhere to go on that.
Nowhere
to go. And Armani Hicks helped his quarterback out and came back to the ball. Did a nice job of keeping his feet in on the sidelines. And that's, it's a little spark for Oakhill. They are able to move the chains, and hopefully they can, build off of this and get something going, put together a scoring drive. So nice play by Armani Hicks that time. Really helped his QB out.
Richardson gets out. He's got a first down and then some. Devin Richardson, what a block! What a block, and Devin Richardson is going to take this thing to the house. Touchdown, Oakhill.
Well, unfortunately, the block, they're going to bring it back. So they're going to call that a crackback. That was Owen Gross. They consider that a defenseless player. And it's a tough situation because that wasn't, to me, overly vicious, but he is considered a defenseless player. The best thing Owen can do in that situation is just get in his way. But you can't level anymore. Back when I played, that would get you a helmet sticker. Now it gets you a 15-yard penalty. So it was a block that sprung him, but in today's football, you just cannot do that. You cannot do that. And honestly, we've seen enough crackbacks this year that I think they have to know that. You cannot lower your shoulder and go into a defenseless player who doesn't see you coming. You just kind of have to get in front of him and wall him off and get in his way.
It is still 1st and 5, so.
It was a great run by Devin. I mean, Devin showed his athleticism. He was able to get out there. And Owen's just trying to help his quarterback out. It wasn't a dirty play. That's just illegal in today's game, though.
So we'll try it again. Richardson, after catching his breath, hopefully as best he can on a cold night, will run it again. He'll get a first down, and he's going to try it on the far side this time, and he's got almost the same result. He'll get spun out of bounds.
And honestly, man, I really think this is going to have to be backyard football for Oakhill.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be their best bet. They're going to have to send 3 or 4 receivers out into a pattern, spread it out, and just give Devin a run-pass option. And hopefully he can find some lanes and do that. I think that's Oakhill's best chance. They're going to have to make this backyard football.
Well, it's the last few plays that have angered Hoover enough where they're taking a timeout. So yeah. Joey Fields wants to talk about it.
Well, they might try to spy Devin.
And we're going to find out what they do after this on the River Network.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
And we welcome you back to Elkview as both teams are back out on the field. Oakhill stringing together their best drive of the night so far, moving the ball here fairly well. And by Oakhill, I mean Devin Richardson, because it's been all him on this drive.
Yeah, and on broken plays. And like I was mentioning before we went to break, I think that's what Oakhill's going to have to do is just put the ball in his hands and play some backyard football here.
They're going to try to run it here to the far side, and near side, rather. And that's going to get...
Yeah, they tried to run that jet sweep. Connor Facemeyer from his defensive line position did a nice job showing good athleticism. Came over and was able to track him down, keep him to a gain of just 2. Now, Oakhill, like I said, they'll build plays off of that, though. So they'll fake that jet sweep. They'll run a trap into the interior. They'll fake that jet sweep and let Devin keep it. Last week we saw them fake that jet sweep and then let Carson run a wheel route down the sideline that actually was there. And it was either him or Mike. They couldn't hold on to it. But they'll run a lot of different stuff off that same action.
Richardson back there once again. He'll take the snap. He'll drop to throw. No one's open. He's going to have to find a way out of this. He does for the time being. And Devin Richardson just continuing to run forward. He's going to get a first down out of this. If not more, he'll be inside the 5.
Well, nice job by Devin to keep that play alive, but I will say a really nice job by J.D. Moritz. J.D. Moritz is the one that sprung him and allowed him to bounce that outside because they're definitely spying him at this point. And when the spy came up, J.D. was able to seal him off and let Devin get the edge. So nice job by J.D. being aware, keeping his eyes down the field, and throwing a nice block to spring Devin that time.
Does it almost feel like once they started spying, and that's when Oakhill started moving the ball a little better?
Well, I think they're going to have to start spying him now that he's broken out a couple times. And you can tell that they definitely have a spy on him right now.
Play clock winding down. They get it off. Handoff up the middle. Moritz goes nowhere.
Yeah.
They're bottling up the inside. But we've talked about it a million times already. They're getting up a lot of size on the inside of that line.
Well, we're just not getting them blocked right now. We're not getting them blocked. And, yeah, Mighty Lopez is a tough matchup. He's lined up right over our center, Tyler Kincaid. From what I saw on film, Mighty Lopez is a tough matchup for most people. He's a really good nose guard. Tyler gives up a lot of size. Tyler's really, and he's done a yeoman's job in there this year. He's really undersized right in the middle of that line at center. But he's got a tough matchup here tonight against Mighty Lopez.
Heck of a name, though, Mighty.
Great name. He lives up to it, too.
Yeah, he does. Richardson will again look to throw. Flush. He's going to try to find the end zone. Touchdown, Oakhill.
Backyard football. And that's Oakhill's going to have to do that. Carson Treadway, and that's what they're going to have to do, Lucas. They've seen enough of Devin now that he's scaring them a little bit. Mm-hmm. So when he starts running around, what you're going to see is linebackers and defensive backs start coming up to stop him, and that's exactly what happened that time. They left Carson alone in the corner of the end zone.
He just sat down in the end zone.
He just popped it out there to him, almost like a jump pass, just flipped it to him. And that's going to be Oakhill's best bet tonight is that.
Number 24, Elisha Jones.
Elisha Jones on to kick the extra point here for Oakhill. And that kick is good. So, 7:58 to go in the first half. Oakhill's on the board. 28-7. Herbert Hoover going to fight their way back. We'll see if they can do it after this on the New River Network.
Presents Wellness Watch, a segment about the diversity of care offered at New River Health. Numerous locations, including pharmacies and dentistry, full-service school health sites, varied hours, benefits help, and sliding fee arrangements make healthcare happen at New River Health. New River Health's Wellness Watch will help you discover solutions to challenging health questions and methods for staying well physically and mentally. From Summersville to Smithers and from Sophia to Oakhill, healthcare happens at New River Health.
We welcome you back to Elkview as Oakhill's going to kick it off. And we'll see if they kick it deeper, if they're kind of leaning the same way you and I are, Chris. At least thinking about an onside kick right now.
Yeah, and if we're thinking, I guarantee you Hoover coach Joey Fields has at least told his team, don't be surprised if they try to go to one side, try to surprise us here.
And they try the squib kick instead. And that's going to be fielded and taken up. He's gone.
Nice job by Elijah Jones. He saved the touchdown.
He did.
Nice job.
Who was that on the return, Chris? I missed it.
That was number 8. That's Dalton Myers.
Dalton Myers.
Oh. Man, he showed good speed. He hit that seam, and he was through there.
He looked like Victory was so fast.
Yeah, and if not for Elijah Jones, that's another 6 for Hoover. So, great field position. Oakhill's just got to get a stop. So they finally were able to get a score, but they got to get a stop. And they have really not shown a lot of resistance to Herbert Hoover, that run game all night.
No.
And they know what's coming. They just run a lot of power, whether it's with the quarterback or the running back. And they got Fisher back in there, that running back right now.
And they'll run it again. Spins out of a tackle and is finally brought down at the 45, so it'll be a 2nd and 5 as Dane Hatfield takes it.
But again, you saw Hatfield, initially he was hit about the 48, and like you said, he spun out of it. They just make it tough to tackle them.
Yeah.
They don't go down easily. They're going to make you bring them down. And Hatfield and Fisher, they're not overly big guys, and like they're Bulldogs, but they just really, they're competitors, and they're showing that here tonight.
Hatfield drops the throw. Gets out of the mess as a flag comes down behind the play. We'll see what that is. It's into the Oakhill bench.
Yeah, that's in the vicinity of holding. You have to think that's probably a hold on Hoover right there. Nice job by Oakhill.
It is indeed, and that goes against number 53.
That's Connor Facemeyer. So nice job that time by the Oakhill defense. The secondary had the receivers covered up. Hatfield had nowhere to go with the ball. And as he tried to escape, he forced Connor Facemeyer to hold. So that should put Hoover behind the sticks. I think that's their first penalty of the game.
So.
I haven't seen them flagged yet.
It'll be 2nd and 15 from the 45. of Hoover.
They're going empty here now. And of course they're looking to, and sometimes they'll go empty and then they'll motion Fisher from a slot back into the backfield. So just because they show empty initially, they don't always stay empty. But it looks like here they're going to. But now here he comes.
And Hatfield will keep it.
That's a really nice job by Mikey Spike coming up from his linebacker position. So they smelled out that quarterback draw that time. Nice job by the Devils. And for the first time tonight, they've got Hoover in a 3rd and long. Now, something Brad Compton had told me is if they can get Hoover in a 3rd and long, what they might do is go to a 3-man front, drop James Green back, and let him spy Hatfield a little bit because Hatfield he likes to keep the ball. So let's see if they do that. If they rush 3 and drop James back to a linebacker and let him spy Hatfield. Because this is the first time they've really had Hoover in a 3rd and long tonight.
Looks like a few Oakhill players are talking to the official out there. I don't really know what they're having a conversation about, but they seem to be adamant about something.
And James Green has, in fact, he's at a linebacker position, and he's spying Hatfield.
Hatfield will go to the air. That pass is going to be caught. A good play at that. Number 19 for Herbert Hoover. Let me get my...
Yeah, that looks like that's Talon Harrison. And that's a busted coverage. Because Hatfield, they had two receivers right beside each other running verticals. And for some reason, Harrison was wide open right there. So that just looks like a busted coverage to me. And, man, just when Oakhill had a little momentum going, you get a score, you get them in a 3rd and 15, man, you bust the coverage, and all of a sudden they're inside the 30-yard line here knocking on the door again.
When this is on the field, we'll see exactly what this is for.
Yeah, not sure what the whistle was here. And the head ref is in no hurry to he ambles over like he's got all the time in the world. See what the call is here, or what the whistle.
After officials find out for equipment not being moved properly, the player is being sent out for correction.
Yeah, and they're sending J.D. Moritz out. And I got to tell you, man, Oakhill's really struggled with that. And the first time they sent me out with an equipment issue, I would get that straightened out, and that would never happen again. I don't know why that's happened with Oakhill so much this year. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was knee pads or a mouthpiece, or I don't know what the deal on that is.
Beats me. Hatfield's going to keep it. Hatfield's going to go across the 15 to the 10 and dodge close to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, just QB power, man. And that's a bread and butter play for them. Well, they'll pull that backside guard and tackle, and and if you watch Hoover on film, they run that to death. So Oakhill knows it's coming. They know they're going to run a lot of that, but they just haven't been able to stop it because Oakhill's having trouble getting lined up here.
They're going to go once again with Fisher. He's going to be into the end zone. Touchdown, Herbert Hoover.
Yeah, and again, he's running through tackles. And Fisher's not a big kid, man. I mean, it's not like Fisher's J.D. Moritz, who's 220 pounds. Fisher's not that big a kid, but he is a competitor. He's a competitor, and he's running through arm tackles to get into the end zone. And that time, Oakhill made some substitutions, and they weren't even set when the ball was snapped anyway. So they were in a bad way before the ball was even snapped that time.
Durenberger will line up for the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 5:10 to go in the opening half, it's 35-7 Herbert Hoover. We shall return on the New River Network right after this.
New River Health presents Wellness Watch, a segment about the diversity of care offered at New River Health. Numerous locations, including pharmacies and dentistry, full-service school health sites, varied hours, benefits help, and sliding fee arrangements make healthcare happen at New River Health. New River Health's Wellness Watch will help you discover solutions to challenging health questions and methods for staying well physically and mentally. From Summersville to Smithers and from Sophia to Oakhill, healthcare happens at New River Health.
We welcome you back to Herbert Hoover High School as the Oakhill Red Devils find themselves down 35-7 here with 5:10 to go in the first half. Looked like they had some momentum after a touchdown, and then What had him on a 3rd down and 13, but a busted coverage sends Hoover into great position, and they capitalized. What was it, the very 2 plays later?
Yeah, you got to make plays when they present themselves to you. And Oakhill, like you said, they finally had Hoover in a 3rd and long. Looks like they were maybe getting ready to force a punt, but had a busting coverage. Talon Harrison went right down the seam, untouched, picked it up, and 2 plays later they're in the end zone again. So Oakhill just couldn't take advantage of that momentum they had there for a second.
And this ball is in the air. It's a really good end-over-end kick. And it'll be... And they're going to say that's a touchback.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the best thing that could have happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah, in high school football, once you touch the ball with the foot in the end zone, that's automatically a touchback, and that's the best thing that could have happened for Oakhill, because Z. Lewis was about ready to get tackled at about the 2-yard line there. So they at least got it out to the 20.
Well, okay. I was going to say Oakhill was huddling around the goal line like, I know we've been down there a lot, fellas, but we can actually move out now.
So again, I think Oakhill's best chance to move the ball is to send 4 receivers out in the pattern and just play some backyard football here. I really do.
I can't argue that. I cannot. I agree. Richardson will hand the ball off. Good hole.
That's their best play of the night. That's their best run, their best designed play of the night, I should say. With Tyler Ashmore, gets a nice 12 yards up the middle there. So nice job that time by the Oakhill front to open up a hole for Tyler and get him a side. That's going to be an 11-yard gain right to the 31-yard line, it looks like.
Indeed it will be. It's a 1st and 10 Oakhill from the 31. 4 minutes, 45 seconds to go on a rolling second quarter clock. Screen passed out to Owen Gross. Owen will get across the 35 to the 40, get out to the 45 from the 50, across the 45, nearly broke a tackle down to the 40.
Really nice play. Really nice play. Got their screen game going that time. I think that was Armani Hicks that threw him a block out there to spring him, and then Owen broke a tackle himself and got down the sideline. So nice job that time by Owen Gross. Nice execution on the screen game from the Oakhill offense.
And here is Tyler Ashmore. He'll get to about the 40, so to be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Ethan Patrick made the tackle. Ashmore, again, showed pretty good vision. It looked like he was trying to cut backside on the left there, but then Patrick was able to come in from his defensive end position, who I thought initially he had overrun that, but he showed good athleticism to get back in position to hold that to a fairly minimal gain.
And they're actually going to say it was a 3-yard gain, so it's 2nd down 7 for Oakhill. Richardson will drop to throw. He does throw. That pass is going to be caught.
Well, what you're seeing right now, too, Lucas, that they're not even really trying to rush Devin. They're playing Devin now to keep the ball. So the front 3 that time, they were not even rushing. They were just playing pity pat with the offensive lineman, waiting for Devin to keep the ball. Then what happened? Hit Armani on a post pattern. So now they're looking for Devin to keep it. It's got them on their heels a little bit. So Devin's legs have opened up some things here for Oakhill right now.
1st and 10 from the 17-yard line for the Devils. Richardson. He is being rushed this time. He's going to have to find a way out of it, and he won't.
Yeah, just he held the ball too long that time, and then when you get over to the sideline, you can use that sideline as an extra defender, and that's what Hoover did that time. And Devin had nowhere to go with it. Probably his best bet. He should have just thrown that one away.
Yeah.
Live to fight another day. Make it 2nd and 10. Unfortunately, he takes a big loss on a sack that time and puts him way behind the sticks.
It's 2nd and 21 from the 28.
Yeah, if he just throws that one away at the back of the end zone, we're setting at 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 is a lot different than 2nd and 21.
Bunch set from the far side. Richardson Again, being rushed, gets rid of it, and that falls incomplete.
Yeah, he wanted Armani. Armani was running a post pattern that time from the left-hand side, but their timing was really off on that. He was nowhere close to Armani. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 21. 4-down territory, obviously.
Yeah.
But right now, if you're seeing on screen, Lucas, Hoover's not even really trying to get back there. They're rushing 3, they're dropping 8, and even the 3 that they're rushing, they're not making a big attempt to rush the passer. They're just they're trying to contain Devin at this point and not let him get outside him or past him.
Richardson will again have all day. He'll tuck it and keep it himself. And now we'll get back to maybe the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he got a few there, so that's going to bring up a 4th and long.
4th and 14, they're going to say.
But, yeah, right. And I've used this phrase a lot, so I'm repeating myself. But it's just backyard football right now.
Yes.
Just somebody try to get open. I'm going to try to run around a little bit. We'll see what happens.
Right. .125 to go in the half. 4th and 14 here for Oakhill. Richardson drops the throw. Has a hole. And he gets balls on the ground, and Hoover will recover.
Yeah, just he didn't see the man coming from the backside there. I think it was Connor Facemeyer that came up with it. Or, excuse me, Mighty Lopez came up with it. Not sure who made that. He took a big hit from the backside there. I'm trying to see on the replay, and I just can't tell who on the replay who made that hit. But nice play by the Hoover defense. Devin looks like he's a little shaken up, but he's up now. I think he'll be okay. But what he was trying to do, he was thinking about keeping it, and then he saw a receiver maybe pop open, and he tried to stay behind the line of scrimmage so he could throw the ball, and he just took a big shot from the backside when he did that. And I fully expect, even though they have a 28-point lead in just a minute 11,
they're going to go.
They're going to be aggressive here and try to score. I really believe that.
Yeah.
That's Hoover's DNA.
They're not going to take a back seat to anyone.
No, don't be surprised if they come out chucking it.
And they'll run it, but that's been pretty doggone good, as Dane Hatfield once again will have it across the 40, near the 45. He'll finally get spun out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Even minute to go in the half.
And again, they'll be, at that big first down gain, I look for them to be aggressive here. They're going to keep their foot on the gas and try to get in the end zone one more time.
Ball spotted at the 46-yard line of Herbert Hoover. Snap is back. Hatfield drops the throw. He's going to be not wrapped up. He'll get maybe a yard, maybe.
Nice job by the front four of Oakhill that time. James Ludwig in particular is the one who really flushed him out there. Cade Compton's the one that eventually ran him out of bounds. He'll get credit for the tackle, but the guy that really made the play on that was James Ludwig, and he came in tonight leading Oakhill in sacks, so he's showing why he's a good pass rusher right there.
Hatfield drops the throw. And that pass is going to be caught. That's by number 19.
That's Talon Harrison again.
Yep.
And again, he didn't go as deep that time, but he's able to find just a spot down that seam, and he's finding an open spot in the defense right there to get another first down for Herbert Hoover.
Hatfield again. And that's going to be incomplete, as thought I saw some laundry on the field on the far side, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he was trying to hit a crossing pattern that time. Number 3, Sam Key, who's the second leading receiver. He just overthrew him that time. As LaShawn Nichols checks in for Derek Sullivan, gives Derek a blow. He's been going 2 ways all night. And again, you see Hoover getting that play from the sideline. All 11 men look over to get that play.
Hatfield again. He'll keep it. Across the 40 to 35, 30, 25, 20, near the 15.
Yeah, and that's the dimension he gives you, too. I mean, he's a lot like Devin, just a really good athlete. And then they'll spread you out, and you're thinking they're going to throw the ball, and then they just run a QB draw right there. And he got a nice lead block on the linebacker that time to spring him.
Timeout. Hoover will take it with them. 26 seconds to go in the first half. You are watching Oakhill High School playoff football on the New River Network.
Are you a former graduate of Oakhill High School or Collins High School? The Oakhill High School Collins High School Alumni Association is a proud sponsor of the night's game. With various annual events and community support, we keep Red Devils in touch and school spirit alive. Thanks to generous donations, $92,500 was distributed to the Oakhill High School class of 2024 in higher education scholarships. We thank Red Devils far and wide for watching tonight's game. For more information on how to become a member, donate to the scholarship fund, or how to visit the Alumni Center on Kelly Avenue, please email ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. That is ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. Go Red Devils!
Their own bunch set here, Lucas, out here to the right. We haven't seen that yet out of Herbert Hoover.
Hatfield will roll out to his right. He'll look to throw across the field, wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Herbert Hoover.
Yeah, they lined up a bunch set to the right. They rolled Hatfield out to the right, and then they snuck Sam Key out around the left, just a little throwback that time, and he was wide open. Again, another busted coverage from Oakhill. They lost Key as he came across the field. Really nicely designed play for Herbert Hoover, nicely executed.
Ross Nuremberger's extra point is up, and it is good. 20 seconds to go in the first half, and it is 42-7 Herbert Hoover.
Yeah, just another nice drive by the Huskies. And, you know, the Oakhill defense has been really good all year, but they're facing a really good offense who's executing really well tonight. And Hoover's not really doing anything that Oakhill hasn't seen on film, but they executed at a very high level. And they're showing why they're 11-0 and one of the better teams, a real contender in the AAA class.
Pending other results, they could end up finding themselves down our way in Princeton next week.
Could very well. Yeah, Princeton plays North Marion tomorrow. That's a 1 versus 8 matchup. Princeton is the prohibitive favorite in that. So, yeah, if this score holds up and Princeton does what I think people think that they will, that'll set up a matchup of 2 undefeateds next week at Honeycutt Field.
Kicking off for your Huskies, number 82, Paul Sternberg.
Durenberger will kick off, and that's going to be fielded at the 5, taken out to the 10, the 15. They handed it off somewhere in the middle of that.
Yeah, they ran a little reverse that time on the kickoff. Z. Lewis handed it to Mikey Spack, but again, Herbert Hoover showing good discipline on their special teams. They weren't fooled by that. And Preston Rose was able to make a nice tackle at the 22-yard line for the Huskies.
You'd say special teams. I can still hear Eddie Suk to this day yelling alignment and assignment on special teams, and that's exactly what that was.
Yeah, and they've done a really nice job of covering kicks. And their special teams has looked just like their offense and defense and everything else they've done. Their special teams has been buttoned up and made some plays for them here tonight. As we see Dane Hatfield, the quarterback, actually check in at a safety. He doesn't really play a lot of defense for them.
And Oakhill will have Richardson keep it, and you'll get whacked down.
Yeah, that should be the last play of the half.
Yep, it should indeed end the half. Indeed it will. So after 24 minutes of football, it is 42-7. Oakhill finds themselves down to Herbert Hoover. We shall return for the second half after this on the New River Network.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
New River Health presents Wellness Watch, a segment about the diversity of care offered at New River Health. Numerous locations, including pharmacies and dentistry, full-service school health sites, varied hours, benefits help, and sliding fee arrangements make healthcare happen at New River Health. New River Health's Wellness Watch will help you discover solutions to challenging health questions and methods for staying well physically and mentally. From Summersville to Smithers and from Sophia to Oakhill, healthcare happens at New River Health.
Are you a former graduate of Oakhill High School or Collins High School? The Oakhill High School Collins High School Alumni Association is a proud sponsor of tonight's game. With various annual events and community support, we keep Red Devils in touch and school spirit alive. Thanks to generous donations, $92,500 was distributed to the Oakhill High School class of 2024 in higher education scholarships. We thank Red Devils far and wide for watching tonight's game. For more information on how to become a member, donate to the scholarship fund, or how to visit the Alumni Center on Kelly Avenue, please email ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. That is ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. Go Red Devils!
6661. Dr. Science and the Health Valley Health and Wellness are proud supporters of the 2024 Huskies, wishing the players and cheerleaders great success this season. Come check us out at KU. Catch a feature lifetime and let us make your smile Facebook famous. Alumni Herbert Hoover and proud sponsor of the Huskies. Give us a call at 304-965-5666.
There's lots of concerns about being environmental, and you consider your environment. When you improve your environment, renovations, repairs, remodels, or whatever, the pros of Pinnacle Consultants should be your first call. They work with homeowners against lead paint for asbestos and mold, and have the only equipment commercial like industry for asbestos and mold. Testing is pretty long. Before you embark on improving your environment, get Pinnacle involved. Pinnacle Consultants. What you don't know, he hates you.
At Bean Jeffries State Farm Insurance, we know what home means to you. On the Elk River, this is what home means to us.
We'd like to welcome you back here as it is 42-7 Herbert Hoover at halftime. We've got some messages from the SSAC as we put this broadcast on. Toyota and your local West Virginia Toyota dealers are proud to be the official partner of the West Virginia SSAC, supporting high school sports across West Virginia. Visit us at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Metro News. For the best news coverage of high school sports in West Virginia all year, follow Joe Bricado and Greg Carey's daily post at wvmetronews.com. Chocolate milk. Greatness is built with chocolate milk, the official beverage of the WVSSAC. The American Dairy Association's Midwest East reminds you that low-fat chocolate milk has the right mix of fluids, carbs, and protein to rehydrate and refuel muscles. Visit drink-milk.com. The West Virginia National Guard. Get help with your college tuition from the West Virginia Army National Guard. For more information, go to nationalguard.com. From the Health Plan. It's good to have options when you're choosing your health care coverage for yourself, for your family, for your employers. You've got options with the Health Plan. The Health Plan. Plan on it. Learn more at healthplan.org. Field Turf is a trusted choice for West Virginia athletic fields in West Virginia. Field Turf is a proud partner of the SSAC. Chick-fil-A and its 18 West Virginia owner-operators salute the more than 86,000 boys and girls participate in scholastic sports in our state. Chick-fil-A recognizes that participation in high school sports helps develop leadership and teamwork skills to prepare each participant for life, the same values that Chick-fil-A in your community shares. Parmar stores. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. Parmar stores have 200 locations throughout the region to serve you. Parmar stores is the official store of high school sports in West Virginia. Hope Gas congratulates the teams for making it to the state championship. Learn more about Hope's community efforts by following them on Instagram. Good luck, teams, from everyone at Hope Gas. West Virginia Higher Education. With the West Virginia Invest Grants Program, you can go to any West Virginia Community Technical College tuition-free. Get the skills you need. Get the skills to get ahead. Tuition-free. Apply at wvinvest.org. And the WVSSAC, the West Virginia Secondary Schools Activities Commission, serves its 286-member schools and their students by providing leadership and support from the conduct of education-based athletics, which enrich the educational experience for all participants. Play, perform, compete together. The West Virginia Secondary Schools Activities Commission promotes athletics that will provide lifelong and life-quality learning experiences to high school students while enhancing their achievement of educational goals. Play, perform, compete together. Today's athletic event is not about winning at all costs, disrespecting others, or criticizing the athletes, coaches, or officials. It's about learning and growing, developing character, and competing in class. Please keep it positive and bench bad behavior.
Well, Lucas, you earned your money on that, man. That's a lot of reach from the WVSSAC, but that's what's required when we broadcast their playoff games, and we were happy to do it. You know, look, there's not a lot to talk about as far as, in the first half. Oakhill's just gotten beat right from the start. They had mistakes that put them behind the 8 ball, and they just haven't been able to dig themselves out of it. They showed a little fight. They put together a nice drive and was able to score. And honestly, for me, that's all I'm looking for. I just want to see some fight.
Yeah.
Realistically, it's hard. It's going to be hard to imagine them coming back from a 42-7 deficit. A lot of kids are playing their last high school football game, and I just hope they show some fight and show why they were a playoff team themselves, because they've really had a good year. And I at least want to see them go out, fighting.
I haven't read copy like that since college.
Gotta keep the corporate sponsors happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So, like we said, Oakhill kicking off here to begin the second half. Ball's on the tee. It's in the air. We're ready to go. And Hoover will field that. And they'll take it out to about the 30, the 35 before it's finally brought down.
That's the dangerous Blake Fisher. He's had a couple nice. He had a punt return for a touchdown. He's had a couple nice runs, and like I mentioned, he's kind of a versatile, do-everything kid for Hoover. Returns kicks. He catches passes out of the backfield. They line him up a lot of different places. I've been really impressed with him. I was impressed with him when I watched film of him. I've been pretty impressed with him in person tonight as well.
So here we are, Hoover once again. And we talked about at the end of the first half, they're not going to let out the gas.
That's not in their DNA. No, they'll keep going. That's for sure.
And there's the classic thing right out of 20 teens football in college. You saw it a lot. Everyone would go to the line and then look for the sideline.
Nice play by Derek Sullivan right in the interior of their line. Just tried to run a little power play with Fisher that time, and Derek Sullivan did a nice job of holding his ground and keeping that to about a 2-yard gain. And Derek will be back next year. Derek's just a junior, and he's been a heck of a player for Oakhill this year. He's going to have to really be a leader on the line and in the locker room next year for the Devils as they lose some good players.
Hoover once again going in a stack formation with the single running back with Hatfield, and we've got a whistle on the field.
Might
Looks
have an
like
equipment issue.
I think we do, yeah.
Mighty Lopez going to have to check out. Boy, the refs, that must have been a point of emphasis in the offseason.
It had to have been because it just didn't get called last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that'll bring in Ryan Gandy, number 54, as Lopez will have to sit out of play. And Oakhill's all over that.
Again, nice job out of the interior of the line. That was Mikey Spike and Cade Compton who ended up, and Brandon Champion also in on that tackle. But that was a nice team defense that time from the Devils, and that's all I'm looking to see right here. I just want to see a little bit of fight. I'm not expecting Buffalo Bills type comeback here, but I just want to see a little bit of fight and play in the second half, and you can walk out here with your head held high.
Head held high, and hey, for the guys that come.
Might have had an inadvertent face mask. I caught the end of that, but I think that might have been an inadvertent face mask on James Ludwig. So, unfortunately, that's going to give Hoover a first down instead of putting him in a third down. So that's a tough break for Oakhill. But, those are the kind of penalties. You don't like a penalty, but that's an effort penalty.
Right, I can live with that.
You can live with an effort penalty. That's all that was. And they're in that H-back formation. They usually run behind this. And that time they pulled the H-back Silvas, and he did a nice job of kicking out James Ludwig, and that created a nice running lane for Blake Fisher. Silvas did a nice job. And I haven't seen him in the film I watched. They didn't pull him a lot, so that's new to me to pull him across the formation. You see Oakhill do that a lot when they go H-back with Tyler Ashmore. That time Hoover did the same thing. Like I said, formationally, these teams do a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
They run a lot of the same type stuff.
Want a man in motion across the formation. They'll hand it off once again. That's number 1. That's Blake Fisher once again. And the way he's been going, to not have him in the end zone right now is a win.
Yeah, man. He's had a few nice runs already tonight. Comes up a little hobble right now, though.
Yeah.
No, Hoover doesn't want to see that.
No.
Because he's a big part of their offense. So, and it looks like he's trying to tough it out and get off the field, but if you're a Hoover fan and you're looking ahead to next week, you really want to see Blake Fisher healthy because he's a big part of that offense for the Huskies.
And they'll get him off the field, and they'll say, all right, we're ready to go once again.
Number 6, Lincoln McConaughey is going to check in for him.
I'm trying to see where he went on the sideline. He's still, he's not sitting down. They're looking at him standing up.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Again, Hoover's not in any big hurry here to get there with the big lead.
No.
They want to bleed some clock here.
Yeah, that'll be a handoff up the middle.
Nice job again. Derek Sullivan, Brandon Champion, Cade Compton, all in there on the tackle. Nice job by the interior that time. And right now they're lining Devin Silvas up in that backfield with Dane Hatfield. And Silvas is a versatile player for them, too. They'll put him at H-back, line him up out wide. They have a couple guys that are jack of all trades.
Stack formation once again. Man comes in motion across the formation, and Hatfield will keep it himself. He's got the 15 to the 10, inside the 5.
Yeah, just a little QB counter that time. Again, I've said it in the first half. Herbert Hoover, it's not that they're doing anything all that exotic. They just execute it really well. And that's why you move the football on offense. You either do something to break a tendency that catches the defense off guard, or you execute at an elite level. And right now, Herbert Hoover's executing basic stuff at an elite level.
He'll bring man in motion across the formation. Hatfield will keep it himself. Hatfield's into the end zone. Touchdown, Hoover.
Yeah. And they just do a good job up front there, man. They're really good up front. They put a hat on a hat, and they just tie their men up and drive people backwards and create running lanes for their skill position guys. I got to tell you, I've been more impressed with Hoover in person than I was watching film of them. And not that they were good on film, too. Don't get me wrong, but they look really good here tonight.
Extra point is up. Extra point is good. 8:42 to go, third quarter, 49-7, Herbert Hoover. We shall return after these messages on the New River Network.
New River Health presents Wellness Watch, a segment about the diversity of care offered at New River Health. Numerous locations, including pharmacies and dentistry, full-service school health sites, varied hours, benefits help, and sliding fee arrangements make healthcare happen at New River Health. New River Health's Wellness Watch will help you discover solutions to challenging health questions and methods for staying well physically and mentally. From Summersville to Smithers and from Sophia to Oakhill, healthcare happens at New River Health.
And we are back here with 8:42 to go in the third quarter as we prepare for the ensuing kickoff. While we have a second, Chris, I'd like to give Herbert Hoover credit for their hospitality. This is one of the best facilities in the state. And of course, it's brand spanking new, and they have done an incredible job of welcoming us here. Of course, it probably helps that they thought they were going to win the game, but still, it's like, hey, nothing but great stuff to say about Herbert Hoover High School.
No, you're right. They got beautiful facilities up here, and of course, they had their school destroyed by the floods of 2016, so this has been a long time coming. And I had heard prior to that Herbert Hoover had really nice facilities, and when you drive up on the hill and get onto campus, man, you really see it. It's just beautiful press box up here as Z. Lewis is going to take it up.
Maybe.
Still going.
He's going to be back around the 15. He's finally going to get spun down, I think, at the 16-yard line.
But no, to your point, the press box up here is gorgeous. Got in here and they had a spread here for the media, and they didn't know I was coming, man. You don't give this guy free food. I'll bankrupt you. But no, nice people and just beautiful facilities up here. The field's beautiful, the stadium's beautiful. I don't know if you can see the scoreboard. They got a little miniature version of a jumbotron above their scoreboard, so. But they had to go through some devastation to get these things, so happy for them.
I came here with Oakhill soccer team in 2013, the fall of 2013, and of course, world of difference since then. But it's only time I've been here. It's great.
So they threw a little screen out there to the short side, and I think that was I couldn't tell. By Monty Hicks, so Monty Hicks was nice. That's a little 5-yard gain, a little screen to the short side over there. So Oakhill hoping they can get something going with their base offense here as they're running trips out to the right now.
Low snap, it's corralled, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle.
So that's J.D. Moritz. J.D., I want to give a little bit of credit to J.D. J.D.'s had a tougher season this year than last year.
Yeah.
J.D. was a 1,000-yard back last year, had an experienced line in front of him. This year, Oakhill's replacing 3 starters on the line. J.D. hasn't had quite the stats he had last year, but he's a kid who's been a 4-year starter. That's really hard to do. He's been a starter since he stepped on campus at Oakhill. He's had a nice career up there.
Richardson will drop to throw. Spack has it. Mikey Spack will break a tackle. He'll get near the 40 to 39.
That was a really good job by Mikey Spike of coming back to the ball, because I got to tell you, when Devin let that ball go, I was afraid it was going to be picked. I thought it might be a pick six, and Mikey did a nice job of coming back to the ball and boxing out the defensive back right there, Blackwell, and he really outfought him for the ball. And that's all I wanted to see.
Yeah.
I want to see a little fight, and Mikey Spike showed a little right there. Proud of him. Good job.
Richardson will again throw. It's again caught, this time on the far side. They'll keep running with it on the first down across the midfield stripe.
Yeah, nice. And the screen game, when they've thrown the bubble screen, they've gotten some nice gains out of that tonight. That was Z. Lewis, and that's about 3 times tonight they've gotten pretty solid yardage out of their screen game. They had a real nice play down the sideline with Owen Gross in the first half. So that's been a positive for Oakhill here tonight.
Ball is on the ground, and Richardson's just going to knee it.
And unfortunately, that's been the story of the game. Every time Oakhill has a little momentum, and that's an unforced error. That means Devin just dropped the snap. And unfortunately, that's been the story of the game. Oakhill, we saw in the first half when they cut it 28-7, and then they had Hoover in a 3rd and long. And they just can't, anytime they get momentum, they just can't keep it. They do something to shoot themselves in the foot, unfortunately.
Snap is back. Richardson gets out of the pocket. He'll dive.
That was Blake Fisher, and Blake Fisher's kind of been the spy on Devin for a good part of the night, and he's won a couple of those battles. Devin's won a couple of those battles. Those are 2 of the better athletes on each team, and but when Devin's scrambling out of there, you can tell that they've told Fisher, you keep your eye on him. When he scrambles out of there, we need you to contain him. He did a pretty good job that time of doing it.
Pass, and it's going to be caught! Touchdown, no kill.
Beautiful. Mikey Spike was out of here on the right. He was part of that trips formation. He ran a post corner. Devin rolled out and put it right on him. Just a beautiful job that time by Devin Richardson. Great catch by Mikey Spike. Really nice job by Oakhill.
That'll make it 49-13 here with the extra point upcoming.
Now I see they're putting somebody's really hobbling out there. That's Owen Gross. He's coming out there to hold. He's really hobbling. It was all he could do to even get out there to get in his position to hold right there.
Kick is up and the kick is good. So 3:58 to go, 3rd quarter. 49-14. Herbert Hoover, we shall return on the New River Network.
Presents Wellness Watch, a segment about the diversity of care offered at New River Health. Numerous locations, including pharmacies and dentistry, full-service school health sites, varied hours, benefits help, and sliding fee arrangements make healthcare happen at New River Health. New River Health's Wellness Watch will help you discover solutions to challenging health questions and methods for staying well physically and mentally. From Summersville to Smithers and from Sophia to Oakhill, healthcare happens at New River Health.
Elisha Jones will kick off here for Oakhill with 3:58 to go in the 3rd quarter. Red Devils get their 2nd touchdown of the night. It's 49-14. As the Huskies now come out on the field ready to go.
What do you think, Lucas? You thinking one side right here? Why not?
I mean, why
you got to lose?
Yeah, I was at like, what? I mean, really, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, sure.
And they're going to kick it deep. They're also going to go out of bounds, so that's going to put the ball at like the 40.
Yeah, he kicked that out of bounds like somebody paid him to do it.
Yeah.
That was straight out of bounds.
He said, we're not doing this again.
Yeah.
I'll give you the ball at the 40.
Yeah. So Elijah Jones came over from the soccer team this year. He's a senior. So I know Jagger Workman has done a little bit of kicking for Oakhill this year. That's something they're going to have to look for next year as a kicker. J.D. Moritz has been their punter. They're going to have to find another punter as well. The special teams for Oakhill is something that's hurt them this year.
Yeah.
They've had a really good year, but the special teams has been a sore spot. So they'd like to improve that going into next year.
So here is the handoff. Breaking tackles across the 50. That's number 7.
That's Devin Silvas.
Silvas, yes.
Man, I can tell you, this is. I'm a little surprised. Hoover's a really good team. Oakhill's been great defensively all year. I've been surprised at how easily Hoover's moved the ball against them, though. I really have, and I give all the credit to Hoover for that. They're just doing a good job of moving people up front and running their offense.
Yeah, it'll be a keeper from Dane Hatfield. Hatfield will cross the 35.
Yeah, and they've been getting yards and chunks all game on that ground game. Whether it's Hatfield or Blake Fisher or Devin Silvas, whoever's carrying the ball.
How many times have they put it in the air? Like twice?
Not very often. Yeah, I mean, not very often at all. They've been very content to keep on the ground. That's a great point. In fact, well, they threw the interception, but then they had the pass play on the third down here to Harrison to keep the sticks moving. But yeah, it's been less than 5 times, I would say, that they've even thrown the ball.
Yeah, it's a handoff. It's across the 25.
Yeah, and again, man, just yards in chunks. Mikey Spike is really slow to get up. He's a senior linebacker for Oakhill. He's had a nice career. He's gotten it out, though. He's going to stay on the field here. But, man, that center of the Oakhill defense, which has really been a strong point for them all year, they've been gutted here a little bit tonight by the Huskies. 2-back set here.
And that'll be another handoff to Silvas. And he won't get quite to the 20.
Nice tackle, and I didn't quite see. I want to see who's getting up off that pile. Maybe Mikey Spike, who was just a little banged up right there, and he came in and made a nice hit. So glad to see Mikey shaking off being banged up a little bit. He put a nice hit on Silvas that time, kept him to a shorter game. And, Lucas, when you're down like this and it's cold, it's easy to quit. It would have been very easy for Mikey to just stay on the field and, hey, get under a blanket, get me on the sidelines. He didn't do that.
No.
He stayed on the field, made a nice tackle the very next play.
And off of the game, got the middle of like that was our old friend.
That's Fisher. So that's good news for Herbert Hoover, because he came off. He was really hobbled, what looked like a lower leg injury. So if you're a Husky fan, you're happy to see him back in there. It looks like that's the last play of the quarter.
It is indeed, and we shall take we'll take a pause for these messages as we change quarters. We'll be back for the final quarter of Oakhill's season after this.
Are you a former graduate of Oakhill High School or Collins High School? The Oakhill High School Collins High School Alumni Association is a proud sponsor of the night's game. With various annual events and community support, we keep Red Devils in touch and school spirit alive. Thanks to generous donations, $92,500 was distributed to the Oakhill High School class of 2024 in higher education scholarships. We thank Red Devils far and wide for watching tonight's game. For more information on how to become a member, donate to the scholarship fund, or how to visit the Alumni Center on Kelly Avenue, please email ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. That is ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. Go Red Devils!
we welcome you back here as Tom Petty is serenading this stadium. And you can't go wrong with Tom Petty. It's not possible. But we've got a 2nd down and 8 situation for Herbert Hoover. That ball is at the 19-yard line as the Huskies are driving, and we've said this a million times and we'll say it a million times more. They're going to run their offense, and they're going to just go with it.
Yeah, and they're going with the bunch set out here to the right, actually to each side now. And you see Oakhill do this a lot too.
It's like the 5th pass of the night. Well, maybe. Nope. And it will be the 5th pass of the night. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, nice job by the Oakhill secondary that time. Again, they had everything covered up downfield. Hatfield was patient, was looking, kept looking, and finally scrambled out, had nowhere to go, and just threw it away.
And we like to make note of the fact that this quarter will go very fast. We're running the clock in the 4th quarter, so no more stoppages of the clock. Just 12 minutes and we're done.
And again, Hoover's running that play clock under 10 anyway, so they're not in a hurry themselves. Nice job by Cade Compton, the sophomore. You know, he led Oakhill in tackles this year. He's had a really nice year from that inside linebacker position. They're probably next year going to ask Cade to have to step up and play a lot more two ways, though. He's probably going to get a lot more carries from the running back position. But Cade's been a real bright spot for Oakhill this year. He's had a nice season from that inside linebacker position.
It was he who had that big run late in the game last week, wasn't it?
And he looked good doing it. Yeah, he showed some speed. And he'll probably need to do a lot more of that next year as all 3 running backs are graduating.
Hatfield sent up to throw. Pass is caught. And that will be a Hoover touchdown.
Yeah, man, that's just a little throwback screen there. They showed roll action to the left, and they throw back across the field to Key at Sam Key, and man, just a beautifully executed play. And I'm really impressed with Hoover. I like what they do offensively. They execute what they do at a very high level, and they did that again that time with that little throwback screen that time. So nice job by the Huskies. And
we keep saying it. It's not like Hoover's trying to run. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're just doing it really well.
They really are. No, they do what they do really well. That's a great point.
Kick is up. Kick is on the way. Kick is good. 56-14. 10 minutes, 2 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. And we shall have some messages here as we pause, as we wrap up our coverage of football on the New River Network this year.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
And we are back here, 10:02 to go in the game. 56-14 Herbert Hoover. And they will kick off. Once again, Mikey Spack is back for Oakhill. Can't quite see who the other returner is. Well, I just heard the PA announcer say that Mikey's back there. So
C. Carson Treadway, Z. Lewis is, I think, right there in the middle there.
The usual suspects. And that will be fielded at about the 15-yard line.
It's actually Braden Hunt.
Braden Hunt will take it forward. Good return.
Nice return. Sure was. Braden Hunt was a nice return. So while we're changing possessions, obviously this game hasn't went like we wanted to go from an Oakhill perspective, and it would be easy to go negative and be critical of the coaches and be critical of the players. They've had a great year.
They have.
First time they've won 10 games since 1950, so I don't want to dismiss that just because the season's ending in a disappointing way. There's only 4 teams in the whole state that get to win their last, hoist the trophy.
Right.
So I do want to recognize, after this play, I want to recognize some seniors who are playing their last game for Oakhill and I really want to give them some credit for a special last couple of years.
Snap is back. It is a handoff. And that'll go for about a 5-yard gain. No, only 3.
So I want to recognize the seniors for Oakhill this year. This Devin Richardson, who's in his lone year at Oakhill, transferred from Woodrow Wilson. Mikey Spike, who's been a really good player for Oakhill, two-way player. I mentioned J.D. Moritz, who's been a 4-year starter. I don't want to miss anybody. Armani Hicks is not on this list, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure Armani's a senior or not. I'll recognize him. I'd rather
be
safe than sorry, so I'll recognize Armani Hicks. Although I can't say for sure he is a senior. As that second down play goes for minimal yardage. So I'll recognize Armani. James Green, who I think has had a terrific year from his defensive tackle position. I've bragged on him a lot. He's had a great year. He's a senior. Elisha Jones, Tyler Ashmore, a running back and a linebacker. And finally, Brandon Champion. If I've missed anybody, they're just not on the roster. I certainly hope, if I have, it's just inadvertent. I hope I haven't missed any seniors, but those are the seniors that we have here on the roster for Oakhill, and they've been a part of a really special 2 years here, Lucas.
They really have, and it's been amazing. We talked about when I first came to the New River Network, we had Coach Moneypenny, and you could see the progress that was being made. It was a competitive football team, went 5-5. Then Devon Marion steps in, and off we go. Off we go.
And he's won 18 games in his first 2 years. He's had Oakhill in the playoffs his first 2 years. And again, Oakhill's not a school you just pencil into the playoffs.
No.
Oakhill's a school that if they make the playoffs, it's a really good year. He got them their second ever playoff win last week against Lewis County. So I'll let him run this 4th down play here. Nice job. That's going to move the sticks. A little quick slant to Carson Treadway. Devin put it right on him, but they've had a really good year. And again, it'd be easy to be negative right now, and I don't want to be like that. They've had an excellent year, something to build off of. Coach Marion's come in and he's really put his stamp on this program, and I think Oakhill's got a bright future with him.
Too.
I really do.
I really do. We were talking about this before. Coach Marion's already in the top 10 in terms of all-time Oakhill.
It's hard to believe.
Wins. It really is.
2 years, man. That's hard to believe. That's great.
Richardson's pass hauled in. Now crossing the midfield stripe, get it across the 40, still going.
And that was Armani Hicks. And again, I'll say this. I said at the beginning of the second half, I just want to see Oakhill come out here and fight. They've done that.
Yeah.
They have not quit. They've really played well here in the second half. That screen game has been there for them a little bit. Their best plays have been off that screen game, and really good effort that time by Armani Hicks.
We'll kind of feed on the kind of the general conversation. Seniors are leaving, yes, but here's the thing: you build on next year based on the effort, right? From now, you got okay. For those who are coming up, you saw what the seniors demanded of you, the respect to this game. Keep that same mentality.
There goes James Green. And if you're a kid in middle school, the last couple of years, you've seen Oakhill win a lot of football games.
Yeah. And
if you're in 7th or 8th grader, you're thinking, man, I want to be part of that. I want to get out there on Friday nights and win games and hear my name called by Lucas Berry on the New River Network. And I think we have a bright future here with Coach Marion.
Could not agree more. Richardson drops the throw. Back to the midfield stripe. And he'll just chuck it into his bench.
Even when Devin throws an incompletion, he makes it look interesting, doesn't he?
Yeah. That's the thing.
He's got a little bit of video game in him.
You can't take your eyes off him, man.
Can't take your eyes off of him, that's for sure. We might have a flag down here.
I don't see a flag.
I might have been wrong. I thought I saw the ref.
I didn't. I was looking for a flag. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
Devin actually had Carson Treadway over here on the left side. He ran a little hitch right at the sticks, and he just didn't see him. But Carson was open. He could have put it on him and got a first down. I did.
Okay, you did.
Yes,
There we go.
I thought I saw a flag.
Well, see, here's the thing. There's a reason I'm wearing glasses, Chris, okay? There's a reason for that.
Yeah, when you start scrambling around like that, those big guys sometimes have a tendency to drift downfield, so can't fault them too much.
No.
On that.
You'll see that on Sundays, too.
Yes, absolutely.
It happens. Plus in the pocket yet again. Richardson will chuck it into the Hoover bench, out near our field level camera, actually.
Yeah, and Hoover still has all their starters out, too. They got all their defensive starters out there. I would have thought maybe at this point in the game with a running clock, you might
try to get some
run. Pull some of those kids off and not taking a chance on injury next week as they move on to the semifinals against either North Marion or Princeton. But Coach Joey Fields still has his starting defense out there right now.
Richardson again.
Well, he had him. He had a man down the sidelines. He actually had Antoine Hicks came in motion across the formation and just ran a little, 5-yard pattern out here in the flat, and he was open. They didn't follow him across the formation. Again, it looked like Devin was looking downfield for the most part. Devin likes the deep ball. We've seen that a lot from him this year. He looks long first before he looks short. So he did have Antoine out here in the flat, but again, just missed him.
I'll be honest, I was looking at James Ludwig was laying on top of a Hoover defender. I was kind of looking to see what that was all about. Devin had to step over him. And Devin will, speaking of a deep ball, he'll go for one, and that pass is going to be incomplete.
He had man coverage out there with Mikey Spike. And I thought for a minute here that Mikey might have came down with it, yet fell to the turf. And that's going to be a turnover on downs as Hoover's going to take over here.
Now, one would only assume just kind of trying to get this final 2:02 done with and get back to the warmth of the locker room. Not that they really care about the warmth, but I'm sure. Here's the thing. I know players say they love playing in warm, but I'm thinking about it from a coaching perspective. My job is to stand here all night. I want to be in the warm.
Yeah. Everybody's probably ready to get back to the locker room.
Oh, no doubt. And they already started that clock as soon as the ball was laid down. So we're down to 1:39. And they will indeed take a knee. As you mentioned, Herbert Hoover will go to 12-0. They will face the winner of Princeton and North Marion. North Marion pulls the upset. They'll be right back here. If Princeton wins, they'll be making the trip down 79-77 and ending up in Mercer County.
Well, I mentioned this last week. If you've enjoyed, watching high school football on the New River Network this year, big shout out to Darren McGuffin who puts all this together. I said the hero before the game was Robert Pauley. He's the only one outside in the elements running the camera. And Robert Pauley doesn't get his name mentioned, but, man, he's the one out there running the camera for us out in the cold. But just a great season for Oakhill. I've had a blast. I have a blast doing this. Well, I'm sure we'll probably do some basketball games as we move into the winter, and if I'm available, I'd love to do it. But just big thank you to Darren for allowing me to do this. It's been a great season for Oakhill, and it's always funner to do when you have a good team to call to.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I echo the same sentiments. I am considering myself very privileged to be able to be a part of a production like this, and it starts with Darren. It starts with Darren and then work his way down to everything else. When
I was a kid, if you didn't go to the game, you were listening to, Shirley Love called on a staticky radio, man. You didn't have this type of technology and quality production here that you can just sit at home and watch on your TV or your iPad.
In this final seconds, we'll tick off, and that is the final score. Herbert Hoover moves on to the state semifinals with a 56-14 win over the Oakhill Red Devils. Oakhill season comes to an end with a record of 10-2. The most successful season for Oakhill in 70 years concludes here at Herbert Hoover High. As the handshake line commences. Chris, you've put a final bow on it, like you said. We're probably going to do some basketball, like you said, and I'm going to take we'll have a little bit of break, but I'm going to take this time to look back and go, hey, what a heck of a season this was.
Fun year, absolutely.
Fun year.
And I hope the kids and coaches, after they put the disappointment of tonight behind them,
oh, yeah.
and they should be disappointed, they're competitors, but after they put that behind them, I hope that they can, kind of look back with some retrospect and say, man, we had a really good year. And especially considering Oakhill's history, this is, the 10 wins for the first time in 74 years. So I'm hoping the kids and coaches can appreciate that once they get over tonight.
Absolutely. We'd like to thank New River Health for being the primary sponsor of tonight's game. We'd like to thank them and all of our sponsors throughout all of the season who have helped us put this on. We couldn't do it without them. So, for Chris Rader, Robert Pauley up on top of the roof here at Herbert Hoover High School, Darren McGuffin throwing the switches, I am Lucas Berry saying thank you so much for tuning us in all season long. We will see you, and we think basketball. We'll try to get some basketball games on the air for you. We'll see you whenever we see you down the line. Good night, everyone, and congratulations to Oakhill on a great season.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
New River Health presents Wellness Watch, a segment about the diversity of care offered at New River Health. Numerous locations, including pharmacies and dentistry, full-service school health sites, varied hours, benefits help, and sliding fee arrangements make healthcare happen at New River Health. New River Health's Wellness Watch will help you discover solutions to challenging health questions and methods for staying well physically and mentally. From Summersville to Smithers and from Sophia to Oakhill, healthcare happens at New River Health.
Are you a former graduate of Oakhill High School or Collins High School? The Oakhill High School Collins High School Alumni Association is a proud sponsor of tonight's game. With various annual events and community support, we keep Red Devils in touch and school spirit alive. Thanks to generous donations, $92,500 was distributed to the Oakhill High School class of 2024 in higher education scholarships. We thank Red Devils far and wide for watching tonight's game. For more information on how to become a member, donate to the scholarship fund, or how to visit the Alumni Center on Kelly Avenue, please email ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. That is ohhsalumni@yahoo.com. Go Red Devils!